There's a moment that happens for every empath, and it happens at night. The house goes quiet, the messages stop. The people you spent all day holding, soothing, absorbing, and managing finally leave you alone. And instead of feeling relief, you feel something strange. You feel wired, you feel raw. You feel like you've been running an emotional marathon that nobody else can see, and now your nervous system doesn't know how to stop. Most empaths spend their nights the same way they spend their days, still tuned to everyone else, still replaying the conversation, still carrying the emotions they picked up in rooms they've already left. And they wonder why they wake up exhausted before the day has even started. But Carl Jung understood something about the night that most people never learn. He understood that the hours before sleep are not dead time. They are the most psychologically powerful hours of your entire day. What you do in that window either integrates you or fragments you. It either returns you to yourself or leaves you scattered across everyone you touched. Today I'm going to show you 5 simple night habits that will change the way an empath moves through the world. Not because they're complicated, not because they require discipline you don't have, but because each one does something specific to the empathic nervous system. Each one takes energy that's been leaking outward all day and finally, deliberately, calls it home. The first habit, the energetic return. Jung spent decades studying what he called the process of individuation, the slow work of becoming psychologically whole. And one of the things he noticed about deeply sensitive people is that they lose themselves in others without ever realizing it's happening. They give a piece of their attention here, a piece of their emotional energy there. By the end of the day, they're spread across a dozen people, and there's almost nothing left in the center where they're supposed to live. The first night habit is the energetic return, and it's simpler than it sounds. Before you do anything else at night, you sit down, you close your eyes, and you deliberately call your energy back. You picture every person you gave yourself to today, and one by one, you take yourself back from them. This isn't a mystical exercise, it's a psychological one. Jung would tell you that the empath's problem is not that they feel too much, it's that they never consciously reclaim what they spent. They keep giving without ever collecting. And so they arrive at night already empty, already drained, already living on borrowed reserves. When you do the energetic return, something shifts. You stop carrying your co-worker's stress. You stop holding your mother's disappointment. You stop absorbing the tension from a conversation that ended hours ago. You draw a line around yourself and you say, quietly and firmly, "This is where I end and everyone else begins." Not out of coldness, out of self-preservation. Because an empath who never returns to themselves is an empath who slowly disappears. The second habit, the unfinished conversation. Every empath knows the particular torture of lying in bed, while their mind replays a conversation on a loop. What they should have said, what the other person really meant. Whether they hurt someone, whether someone hurt them. The mind refuses to let go and the body stays activated and sleep becomes impossible. Jung had a name for this. He called it the psyche's demand for completion. The mind doesn't hold on to conversations because it's broken. It holds on to them because something inside them was never resolved, never expressed, never given a place to land. And so it keeps knocking over and over, waiting for you to finally listen. The second habit is to give that unfinished conversation somewhere to go. You take a page and you write the thing you couldn't say, not the polished version, not the version you'd let anyone read, the real version, the angry version, the hurt version, the version that admits you're still not okay with what happened. Jung believed that what stays unconscious controls us, and what we bring into the light loses its grip. The empath who writes out the unfinished conversation isn't wallowing. They're completing a loop that would otherwise run all night. They're taking the emotion that was trapped in their body and giving it a form outside themselves. And in that transfer, something releases. The charge drains out. The mind finally gets to rest. You don't send it. You don't reread it. You don't show it to anyone. Sometimes you tear it up. The point was never the page. The point was the return of your own peace. The third habit, the boundary of the screen. Here's what almost no one tells empaths about their phones. For a sensitive nervous system, a screen at night is not a screen, it's a doorway. Every notification is another person reaching into your quiet. Every scroll is another dose of emotion you didn't choose to feel. Every message you read at 11 at night is one you'll carry into your sleep. Jung couldn't have predicted the phone, but he understood the principle completely. He understood that the psyche needs a threshold, a boundary between the outer world of demands and the inner world of the self. Without that threshold, there is no individuation. There is only endless reaction. The empath who falls asleep scrolling never crosses back into themselves. They fall asleep still merged with everyone, still absorbing, still permeable. The third habit is to build a wall between you and the screen before sleep. An hour if you can. Half an hour if you can't. In that window, the doorway closes. No one gets to reach into your quiet. No emotion enters that you didn't invite. The world can wait, because the world has taken enough of you today. What Jung would want you to notice is how much resistance you feel to this. The pull to check one more time. The anxiety of being unreachable. That resistance is the exact measure of how dependent your nervous system has become on being available to everyone. And that dependency is not connection, it's a leash. The empath who puts down the screen isn't disconnecting from the world. They're finally reconnecting with themselves. The fourth habit, the inventory of the day. There's a difference between the empath who ends the day and the empath who processes it. The one who simply ends it collapses into bed carrying everything, and the weight follows them into sleep and out the other side into morning. The one who processes it does something Jung considered essential to psychological health. They witness their own day before they let it go. The fourth habit is a short nightly inventory, and it has a specific shape. You ask yourself three things. Where did I abandon myself today? Where did I hold my ground? And what did I feel that actually belonged to me and not to someone else? That third question is the one that changes an empath's life. Because the great confusion of the sensitive person is that they can no longer tell which emotions are theirs. They walk into a room heavy and leave it heavier, and never stop to ask whose heaviness they're carrying. Jung understood that the path to wholeness runs through this exact discernment. You cannot become yourself if you can't tell yourself apart from everyone else. The inventory is how you learn the difference. Night after night, you sort through the day and you separate what's yours from what you picked up. You keep what belongs to you. You set down what doesn't. And slowly something remarkable happens. You start to know yourself again. You start to recognize your own emotional signature underneath all the noise. You stop mistaking the world's feelings for your own. Jung would tell you this is not self-obsession. This is the opposite. This is the daily practice of coming home to a self that spends all day getting lost. The fifth habit, the return to the body. The final habit is the one empaths resist the most, because empaths live in their heads and their hearts and almost never in their bodies. But Jung understood that the body is where the psyche stores everything the mind refuses to feel. The tension you didn't release, the grief you didn't cry, the anger you swallowed to keep the peace. It all lives in the body, and at night, it's still there, waiting. The fifth habit is to return to your body before you sleep. Not to fix it, not to perform anything, just to feel it. You lie down, and you move your attention slowly through yourself, and you notice where the day is still held. The jaw that's been clenched since morning, the shoulders up around your ears, the knot in the stomach that never quite left, and instead of ignoring it the way you've ignored it your whole life, you finally breathe into it. Jung believed that healing happens through descent, not escape. The empath's instinct is always to rise up out of the body and into the mind, into analysis, into managing everyone else. But the body is where the truth is, and the empath who returns to the body every night is doing something profound. They're stopping the endless flight into other people's realities. They're landing at last in their own. This is where the whole day finally lets go. This is where the nervous system, held at high alert for hours, is finally given permission to stand down. Not because someone told it was safe, but because you did. Because you came back for it. Because for once, at the end of the day, you chose yourself. What changes when you do this? None of these habits are dramatic. That's the point. Jung never believed transformation came from grand gestures. He believed it came from the small, repeated acts of turning toward yourself when everything in you has been trained to turn toward others. An empath who practices these 5 habits doesn't become a different person overnight. But over weeks, over months, something fundamental shifts. They stop waking up already exhausted. They stop carrying every conversation into the next day. They stop confusing everyone else's emotions for their own. They stop leaking energy into rooms they've already left. And the people around them notice. The ones who relied on the empath being endlessly available, endlessly permeable, endlessly reachable at any hour, suddenly find someone with edges. Someone who logs off. Someone who is no longer sitting up at midnight absorbing their crisis. Jung would tell you that their discomfort is not a sign you've done something wrong. It's a sign you've finally done something right. Because the empath's exhaustion was never a flaw in their sensitivity. It was a flaw in their boundaries. And the night is where those boundaries are rebuilt, one quiet habit at a time. You're not becoming cold when you protect your evenings. You're becoming whole. You're not being selfish when you close the door on the world before sleep. You're being sovereign. You're not withdrawing your care when you finally come back to yourself. You're learning, maybe for the first time, that you were always allowed to. This is what Jung meant by individuation. Not cutting yourself off from the world, but becoming so grounded in yourself that the world can no longer sweep you away. The empath who ends their days this way stops living scattered across everyone they meet. They gather themselves back. Night after night, they come home. And that changes everything. So tonight, when the house goes quiet and the messages stop and everyone finally leaves you alone, don't brace for the wired, raw, restless feeling you've come to expect. Do these 5 things instead. Call your energy back. Finish the conversation on paper. Close the doorway of the screen. Take the inventory of your day. Return to your body and feel what it's like at last to belong to yourself.